Alright, so I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, see if anybody pops in. So far, we got a couple people. So just give it a sec. Yeah, what's up, guys? Where you guys all from? Just if you guys want to say something in chat, let me know. It's the first time doing live stream, so yeah. Okay, so let's get started. Basically, if you guys can't hear me, let me know so I can hear you guys. But here is kind of what I'm looking for this morning. I'm just going to go over basically just the pre-market gappers and then some of the main watches I had from last night. So obviously, if you guys are on, you guys know that SPI, huge percent gainer right now, and pre-market's up over 200%. So this is the first time we've actually seen something this run or gap this big in probably a few weeks at least. So this could easily, just for that reason, this could easily keep running, just because that first time that, after a slow market, everyone tries to get in, and this thing could end up, especially shorts, this could end up being a huge squeeze. So the other reason, if you guys look on the daily, so far it already has 15 million shares traded pre-market, right? And then if you look at the daily, this is just going back a year, you guys can see that the highest volume is like 13 million. So it's already traded more than that. So you can't exactly use, these resistance levels. Plus, it's already gapping above any of these levels. So, and then this back here doesn't really have any volume that you can use as resistance to trade off of. And even if you go further back, like, yes, there are some levels, like in the fours, this is probably a good level to maybe start into if you're trying to short at 4 level. But at this point right now, it's a dangerous short. So, and it's a very low float too. So if you're looking for this as a short, I wanted to borrow some, but the borrows were like insanely expensive. They're like 30 cents a share, and then sometimes they don't even have any available. I use Trade Zero, by the way. So I'm not, and I was going to borrow, like 10,000 shares, so I'm not going to be paying 2 or 3 grand just for borrows just so I could short. So yes, I can make it back. Obviously, I can make all the borrows if this ends up going to like, $2, which that's the range if this fails, because this does look kind of heavy. However, I'm not paying the borrows. On the daily, there's not enough volume resistance, which is probably the biggest thing that I look for, is the volume. So this is a no touch for me, at least for now. Unless the borrows get cheaper, then maybe I'll take some. The other gapper that I was interested in was MNOV. This one, I borrowed shares, and I was ready to short right into VWAP. And I was like, I'm going to give it just another second to see if it goes just a little higher, because I wanted a better entry, and then it dumped. So I missed that trade. Unfortunately, that was my bad. I should have at least taken a starter. That was really stupid of me to not, because as you can see, it went from 730, 40-ish, and it's down at 670s right now. So, that's not even a huge gain. However, that's like 6-7%. If you take several thousand shares, or if you're trading less, like, that's a good trade pre-market. Like, that's pretty solid. So whatever, I missed that. But what I'm going to be looking for, because I still have shares, is if you look into the filings, this is a pretty trash company. You look at the daily, you can see that it had a pretty big run on a lot of volume on 80 million shares. So this does have a very good resistance. Back here, you can see this level is at like 750, 780, which is, kind of where it ran to today. So this still has potential for a trade. What I'm going to be looking for is any kind of pop into, these key levels, which are 710s, 730s. Maybe even 750s. If it gets to 750, then that actually might be that's kind of when it starts to reclaim, and if it holds that level, then it could break out. But anything really below or into VWAP, I'm going to be looking for pops and looking for an entry. So that's the plan on MNOV. SPY keeps going, so that's pretty nice. POAI, I really don't like trading stocks that are, sub dollar stocks, or at least that are coming from sub dollar, because they have wild moves. However, if we look at the daily, let's look out further. So this is a year. Every time it gaps on decent volume, it craps here, here, here. So this is a decent gap and crap setup. Again, not huge volume, but the volume right now is only trading, 5 million pre-market. So by the end of the day, on this setup, it's probably going to trade up to 15, 15, 20 million maybe. I don't see this trading anymore unless it reclaims VWAP and then starts going. Then we can see a breakout, and then we can see a bigger trade and more volume come in. But where it is right now, this is looking like it's already rolled over. One last pop into VWAP, maybe not. I don't know if it even gets there, and then it's just going to fade off the rest of the day. So unless it reclaims VWAP later and then it keeps going, then yes, then we have a potential trade on this. But as for me, and for a short, I'm looking for an entry. If you look at just the key levels on the pre-market chart, 110s, is ideal for me. So if we get a pop to 110, I'm going to take probably a small position on it. It's not my, I don't know, I don't see, there's not much, it's only up 20%, it's not much room, so, not a huge trade on this one. SPY keeps going. Okay, now, let's see, from last night, yesterday we had NAOV. Now, I hope all you guys stay away from this on either side. This was more of a lawn than anything, but you can see end of day they trap lawns, or they trap shorts, then they trap lawns, and then they dumped it. So look back to the daily. Absolutely no volume at all. Just no resistance anywhere. You have no idea what this can do. This is a low float, so you can't really be shorting this. And then if you look pre-market, it's held a base. So if you were trying to short, you're just asking for it, right at the open. It's holding the support. So why are you trying to short? In anticipation of the breakdown, maybe, but not on a chart that has absolutely no volume resistance. So I didn't touch it. I knew this. Honestly, this traded exactly how I thought it was going to trade. I knew it was going to trade. It was going to trap shorts, and I knew it was going to trap longs. So, one sec. Sorry, I'm on the West Coast, and it's freaking cold at my house, and it's only 6 a.m. So, anyway. But now, as you can see, it's failed pretty hard. 150 was the high yesterday. It's below $1 right now. So this is a decent short if we get into any kind of pops. Just look back on the chart. You can see this clear 112, 111 level. So any pop into that would be a starter. Then a pop into the 125 area, and then I doubt it gets there, but last entry would be into this area right here. Once it confirms backside, then you start scaling, and then you ride it all the way down. So on the front side of the move, when you're trying to play into pops, take starters into those levels. Once it starts confirming, then you scale, and then you can add. I wouldn't suggest going all in into front side of pops, because the pop can go higher. You don't know that, but this most likely will fail. Just wait for the backside of the pop, or shove, whatever you call it, and then you should be good. Same setup, but not as much, or same intraday, I guess, but not as much meat on the bone would be Blink. Look at the daily. You can see that it's a failed chart from earlier this year. Came all the way back down, and then it had its bounce into this resistance yesterday. So I actually traded yesterday, but as you can see, it didn't really do much. So it was I made like $60 on it, so it was a break-even trade. Annoyingly, I would have banked really hard if this was the move I was looking for. Actually, I got in pre-market, and I didn't take any off here because my orders were sitting at 870, and it only came to 875, so I just missed it, and then it rebounded really hard right away, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for it to pull back a little bit, sub 9, never really did, and then so really annoying, but it is what it is. You can't really do much about it. Now, again, if you look on the daily, this has huge resistance in the 10. Yesterday it tried, but it failed. So we're looking for some failed follow through on this. So again, just look at the chart. Key levels. What do you have? You have this $9 level, you have this $925 level, and then you have this $950 level. So highly doubt it gets to $950. That would be insane. But if it does, that'd be great. I would load up pretty much like full size probably, but first pop into like a 9 again 925, 950, 960 area, I would be looking for, and then again failed follow through, then scale. SAVA I had up, but it gapped up this morning, so don't really know what this one does. Everyone's been trying to short it because it's a trash company. If you saw my tweet earlier on it, my bias on it. I'm very short bias on this, but I'm going to be waiting for confirmed backside, so it's not there yet. So I'm probably I'll just throw it in the back. Now we got Workhorse. Let's see. Now look at the daily Workhorse. This had a huge run earlier this year, and then it held this level, and then huge short squeeze all the way up to 30, and now it's finally backside. So today I'm really looking for any pops into key levels. So key levels, I would only start if it got to $27. So just look back on the chart. You can see here on this day. So yesterday, 27 was a base. Look back on the 17th, 27 was a base as well. So first key level would be 27, and then and then you got this 27 and a half, and then you got this 28 level. So I would be putting in positions up to $28. Anything over 28, I would consider that as a reclaim, and then it could end up going higher, retest highs, and keep going. So any pops up to 28, I will take. If not, you can still trade this if it's really weak, because obviously this still has a lot of room to come down. So you guys can still trade it. However, you just want to look for failed momentum. Basically, don't get in front of it, because this still has room to pop to like 27, 28. So, but if it doesn't do any of that, then you can just start scaling in once backside confirms. But just wait for backside. SPY broke 4. Also, guys, I don't know because this is my first time doing live stream, I have no idea if there are. Oh, okay, here's the chat. Okay, I was gonna say I don't know if anybody has questions or not, but you feel free to throw them in the chat. What's up, Callum? So I don't really know how to work this yet, but I'll figure this out as it goes on. But yeah, I actually did not expect even 10 people to be on here. Honestly expected maybe one person. So it's cool to see you guys. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I want to see if I can do this live stream, just pre-market broadcast, every single morning. Because people do trade recaps. I do trade recaps, but doing it, having a trade plan, from someone that has a little bit of experience. I'm not saying I'm a great trader, but I have some experience. So if I can help you guys out, before you guys take those trades, why not, So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But yeah, got 10 minutes to the bell. Those are basically, I went over MNOV, BLNK, Workhorse. I went over SPY, MNOV, and then POAI. So those are really the only thing I also want to say before I come off live stream is that we're finally starting to see some action coming in pre-market. We've been dead for a couple of weeks, maybe even more actually. Probably this whole month we've been dead. Yeah, I remember. So the first week of September was terrible for me. End of August was getting pretty slow too. So when the market just starts to heat up, like you guys want to be careful. Duck says this all the time, and like he says that he never takes the first trade after a cold or after like a really slow month, because everybody tries to pile in on either side, and if it's very short crowded, that thing's gonna squeeze, or it's just super crowded, it's hard to trade. So that's also kind of the reason why I'm avoiding SPI. Like, this is the first huge gapper we've had in a long time. Actually, I hit the $4. Let me see if there's any shares or how expensive they are. No, there's still no shares on Trade Zero, so oh well. But yeah, like, everybody is going to try to short this because it's up, 200-300%, and it's going to, like, I don't know what it's going to do. It has no daily resistance volume. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the market overall right now. Just be careful because it looks like we're heating up. So you don't have to be there pre-market. You can wait for the open. You can wait for key levels, even like on SPI. You can see key level here is the 370 and the 290s. So if it breaks 290, you still have plenty of room downside. So if you're a newer shorter or whatever, like, just wait for 290 to break, wait for the confirmation, and you still have $1. And $1 on a $3 stock, that's 30%. That's a huge move. So you guys are fine waiting for this 290 to crack. Like, you don't have to get in before that. However, if you're trying to scale into a parabolic move, just be safe. That's all I have. Let me see. Jonathan, been following you for a while. You're doing great work. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I'm not really sure how to, like, I don't know if, how I can pull up the comments onto the actual live stream video. I don't know how that works. But if I could put user to hide, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But so you guys can see the comment as well. But yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for following. I appreciate the support. Reed, yeah, honestly, yeah. Ross, I used to watch Ross's pre-market live broadcast. That's actually kind of where I got the idea from. But yeah, I knew he would be in this. Like, of course he's pumping this. This is low float. This has lots of range. Yeah, this is gonna pump. So, but if he's pumping this to the long side, you can only imagine what it's gonna do on the downside. After him and all his followers are out, obviously this thing's gonna dump. So that just gives you more conviction. If you see Ross in a going long a stock, you just know it's gonna fail. Yeah, that's funny though. All right, guys, so that's it. Just again, wait for key levels. One last time before I go off. MNOV, looking for pops. BLNK, looking for pops. Workhorse, looking for pretty sizable move back up to 27, 28. SPY, not touching it. Borrows are too expensive. Daily has no volume. Only wait for backside, but not gonna trade it anyway because borrows are expensive. And MNOV, I missed this little pop, but it's still not big enough. MNOV, really looking for a 720, 730, 750 pop to short into. POAI, yeah, I guess you got to take in this sort of into VWAP at 105. Not the best entry, but whatever. Not a bad short, I guess. And then I didn't go over GME really quick. So you can see breakout, but it's failed. Yesterday had lots of selling in this 280, 270, 260 level. So I'm actually probably going to sign off and take a starter here. But I'm looking for, I was looking for pops. I didn't see this run up, but I was looking for pops into this level. And this has room down to like 9.5. So sorry, that's kind of a quick overview. I'm not going to take any more time because I'm going to place a trade on this one, most likely take a starter right here. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys, and same time tomorrow, and hope you guys liked it. I'll see you guys later.